Since its release in 1988, the Glock 19 has been one of the most popular pistols, known for its compact size in between the full-size Glock 17 and the subcompact Glock 26. It has proven to be extremely reliable and a choice for both military and police. With its popularity, there is a wide variety of aftermarket parts, making it fully customizable. Many companies have tried to clone the Glock 19 but have fallen short. Recently, Palmetto State Armory released their first pistol lineup, the Dagger, which in similar fashion is a clone of the Glock 19. So how well does it measure up to the tried and true Glock 19? Stay tuned and we'll take a closer look. Welcome back to the channel, guys. You'll see I do have the Palmetto State Armory Dagger and the Glock 19 in front of me. I do happen to have the model of the Dagger that has the RMR cut, suppressor height sights, and the threaded barrel, but they do make a standard version. And why I wanted to make this video is just because for the price, between what you pay for a Glock and a Dagger, you really can't beat the price of the Dagger, especially since it is basically a Glock 19 and takes all the parts. So we're going to take a look at what you get with the box and the comparison between the two and see which one you might decide to go with. And we might as well talk about price first really quick. This version of the Dagger comes around $399.99, and then the standard version comes in around $299. So when you compare it to a Gen 3 Glock 19 like this, typically if you find a good deal, you're going to find it around the $500 range. So you do save a lot of money if you go with the standard Dagger for the $299. So there's a huge savings there, and you're really getting all the same features. But with that higher price on the Glock, you are getting the Glock name that is tried and true. So we'll see what this newcomer has to offer, and time will tell on how this gun will hold up. So this is a soft case that does come with this version of the Dagger. You'll see this is a nice large soft case, and opening it up here, you do have an area with your manual. And then down here you do have a spot for your gun, keeps it nice and handy, and it does come with one magazine, but there are two magazine pouches, and then in this pouch here is where your gun lock is. And you'll see the magazine it does come with is a Magpul Glock 19 mag, which holds 15 rounds. So this magazine you can use in the Glock 19 as well as the Dagger. So here we are taking a side-by-side look of the Gen 3 Glock 19 and the PSA Dagger right here. You'll see that off the bat there are a lot of similarities to these guns, and one cool thing about the Dagger is it does take a lot of the parts that a Glock 19 would, just like that magazine there, and then I'll show you some other cool things that you can do with it as well. But most parts that will fit this Glock 19 are compatible with the Dagger. So starting with the grip, you'll see that the texturing is quite similar to the Glock 19. This one is a little more aggressive than on the Gen 3 models. And then the finger grooves, you'll see that there's only one finger groove right here on the Dagger, while there are the three standard ones on the Gen 3 19. Now the newer Gen 5s don't have those finger grooves, so this is more compared to the Glock 19 Gen 3. You'll see that there is a cutout on the bottom of the grip of the Dagger, and that's going to allow you to grip that magazine and rip it out if you need to, whereas the Gen 3 model Glock does not have that. So kind of comparing the two side by side like this, they are pretty similar, but you will notice that the side of the Glock is pretty flat, whereas there is a bit of a palm swell on the side of the Dagger, so that kind of helps you get that little good fit inside your hand there. But as far as size, it does match up pretty well to the Glock 19. And then if we flip it over here, you'll see that the frame size are pretty much the same as well. And you'll see with the trigger guards that they both have the back cutout right here, but then the Dagger has a cutout right here that the Glock 19 does not. And then on the front of the trigger guard, you do have some texturing on the Glock 19, and then a smooth finish on the Dagger. And moving to the front of the frame, you'll notice that they both have the same Picatinny rail system with the serial number on the bottom. And you'll see on the muzzle end here, there's a slight difference in the cutouts. There's a little bit more of a round edge here on the Dagger versus more of a squared off edge on the Glock 19. The Glock 19 has a plastic guide rod, and the Dagger has a steel guide rod. And coming around here, comparing the two slides together and the barrels, obviously the barrel on this one's going to be a little bit longer since this is the threaded version, whereas the threaded version is a 4.7-inch barrel. The standard Dagger barrel comes in about 3.9, and on the Glock 19, the barrel length is 4.02 inches. And you also note that the slide lengths are about the same size on both of these guns. And then coming around here to the front, again, this one has the RMR cut. The standard one does not have that RMR cut on the backside there. But you'll notice that there are some differences in the cuts on the slides versus the Glock. The Glock is the more boxier version with just the round edges here, and there are carry cuts on the slide of the Dagger that you'll see as well that adds a little bit of difference to these. And there also is a cutout here in the Dagger, whereas that is not present on the Glock 19. The Dagger has front slide serrations and the Glock 19 Gen 3 does not, but then the Gen 5 Glock 19s do come with the front slide serrations. With the sights on these, on this 19 you have your standard Glock sights, whereas on this version of the Dagger you have the high suppressor sights, but on the regular Dagger you'll have a 3-dot system similar to the Glock. And one of the main differences that you will see is on the trigger. The trigger with the Dagger is more of a pivot style that you see in the Smith & Wesson pistols, and the trigger doesn't seem to be quite as nice as a standard trigger on the Glock 19. But the good thing about this is with it being a lower price point, you can always update the trigger on the Dagger and get it more up to par with the Glock 19. So we'll go ahead and run the trigger on the Dagger so you can see the take-up that it has. Kind of a lot of movement right there until you hit that wall. And then there's your break. And then audible reset right there. And again, so a lot more of a take-up than your standard Glock 19. This will be the Glock 19 trigger pull. And then the reset. So the Glock 19 doesn't have quite as much take-up as the Dagger did. So with that, the trigger on the Glock 19 does feel a lot better than the Dagger, but again, you can always update that, especially for the price coming in on the base model, $299. You're not going to expect to have a match quality trigger, but you can update that with any Glock trigger that you want to. And like I mentioned earlier, it does take the Glock 19 magazine, so I have a standard Glock 19 mag, and it fits right in there just as well. Nice and flush. And then this P-Mag also fits in the Glock 19. So if you've ever field stripped the Glock 19, the Dagger is going to field strip just the same way. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to take off this barrel thread. Alright, so you drop the magazine by hitting that magazine release. Check your chamber, make sure it's empty. Pull the trigger, and the two takedown knobs right here. You're going to pull the slide back about 1/8 of an inch, pull those down, and it slides right off. Go ahead and take the Glock 19 down as well. And then this is just a kind of a comparison of the frames themselves as far as the size. The slide on the Dagger is 1.28 inches thick, whereas the slide on the Glock 19 is 1.26 inches. So very slight difference there. So when we take out the recoil spring, you'll see that the spring is plastic on the Glock and stainless steel on the actual Dagger themselves. One cool thing is I can take this Glock barrel, put it in the Dagger, and it will fit on the 19, and it will also fit on the Dagger frame. So then you have the regular size Glock 19 barrel in this Dagger. And again, with all these parts being interchangeable, I could take the Glock 19 frame, take the Dagger slide, and they fit on there just fine. So it's pretty cool that a company was able to make something so close to the Glock 19, but at a much better price point. Now, time will only tell as far as the reliability of this thing. It is newer to the market, so it hasn't gone through the paces that the Glock 19 has over the years. But Palmetto State Armory has been around for quite a while, and they don't seem to be going anywhere. They just keep coming out with better and better stuff. So I do see this as being kind of a good competitor to it. So, but again, only time will tell. But so if you're looking for a Glock 19 style pistol and really don't have the budget for the actual Glock 19, then the Palmetto State Armory Dagger might be something good for you. And then if there's anything you want to upgrade, such as the trigger, you can always do that down the line. And then if you do end up upgrading to the Glock 19, you could still use all the same magazines and everything that you can with this. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and consider hitting that like and subscribe button so you can be notified when we come out with content just like this. And if you do have the Glock 19 or are considering purchasing this, check out this video right here where I show you how to break it down, clean it, and lubricate it. So then that way you know how to maintain that pistol, and the same thing will apply to the Dagger since they're basically the same gun. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.